Hey there, it's Tom Corson-Knowles, #1 best-selling author of the Kindle Publishing Bible series and founder of TCK Publishing. Welcome to Ebook Publishing School 2.0. This is video number 3. In this video, we're going to talk about the 6 key foundations for marketing success. Now, I have a special free gift for you. You can download underneath this video. It's my free report on 10 ways to sell more books online. And at the beginning of that report, you'll see the 6 foundations of marketing success. And we're going to talk about those in this video in much more detail. So make sure underneath this video at ebookpublishingschool.com, download your free report and you can refer back to it as we're going through the 6 key foundations for marketing success. And then in the next video, I'm going to actually walk you through some of those key marketing strategies that are working right now in 2015 and show you how we're selling hundreds and even thousands of books in a single day with some of these marketing strategies like email marketing and using some amazing new book promotion sites. If you haven't already checked out video number 1 where I show you how to format your ebook for Kindle, because you can't start selling books until you actually have them published. Okay, so let's get started and jump into the foundations for success. In this video, the 3rd video at ebookpublishingschool.com, I'm going to share with you the 6 key foundations for marketing success. Now, before we talk about specific marketing strategies and ways you can sell more books, which is super important and super crucial, you have to understand the 6 key foundations for marketing success, right? Marketing is what separates successful authors from authors who sell maybe 10 or 20 or 100 books a year and never really get the kind of financial success they're looking for, right? So if you want a higher level of financial success, marketing is the key to getting there, but it's not about strategies and systems and tools when you first get started. It's about understanding the key foundations for success, and we're going to cover those right now in this video. Okay, now there are 6 key foundations for success. The first one is get crystal clear on what you want and why. All right, this is so crucial that you get really clear on what it is that you want, right? Because most of us, we spend, sometimes our entire lives just doing what other people think we should do, maybe what our parents thought we should do, what society thought we should do. We get jobs and, have entire careers doing things that we don't really want to do, but we just did it because that's what everyone else was doing, or that's what our parents wanted us to do, and so forth. And so, the real foundation of real success isn't just about how much money you make or how many books you sell. It's about living a life that you're passionate about, living life on purpose, living a life that's your real life, that you really want to live. So if you want to live a life full of passion, excitement, contribution, meaning, and purpose, you have to get crystal clear on what it is you want, right? So here are some great questions to get you thinking. First of all, why do you want to be an author? Why do you want to be an author in the first place? Maybe you're already an author, maybe you've already written a book. Well, why? What is it that drives you, right? What is your purpose? Do you have a message you want to share with the world? Do you have a mission to make the world a better place through your writing, through your books? Do you have a story you just think has to be told out there? Do you want to entertain people? Do you want to write a movie, have your book turned into a movie someday? What exactly is it that you want from being an author? Do you want a full-time career? Do you want a full-time income? It's just a part-time gig for you? Get really clear on what it is you want. I can show you how to get what you want. I can show you how to become a #1 bestseller. I can show you how to sell thousands, tens of thousands, and even hundreds of thousands of books because I've done it. But I can't show you how to do it unless you're really clear on what it is that you want, right? No tools and systems and strategies will work unless you actually know where you're going and you make it happen, right? So get really clear on what it is you want. Clarity is power. Clarity is what gives you the power to write a book in the first place, right? And then once you write that book, to go ahead and publish it. And once you publish that book, to go ahead and market it. And once you market that book, to go ahead and write the next book and the next book and continue marketing, continue promoting, continue getting your message and your story out there in the world. You have to have clarity in order to do that, right? The road to success is not easy. It doesn't happen overnight, right? There's going to be pain, there's going to be struggles, there's going to be disappointments, there's going to be obstacles, there's going to be all kinds of things that come up that make you feel like you just want to quit. And unless you're super clear on what you want and where you're going, you will quit, right? And most authors fail not because they didn't know what to do, or they didn't have enough money, or they didn't have a big enough platform. Most authors fail just because they quit, right? They quit before they had time and opportunity to become successful. So if you really want success, you have to start thinking right now, okay, what is it you want? Get really clear, because that clarity is what's going to drive you. It's going to be your fuel when times get tough, when obstacles come, and they will come. When those bad things happen in your life, clarity and your purpose is what's going to drive you through and help you continue to be successful so you won't quit, so you won't give up. Because when you're feeling awful and you're feeling down and you feel like, it's just such a waste of time to keep working on your books or to keep marketing your books, you can look at your purpose, you can look at your goal and say, okay, no, this is worth it. No matter what happens, this is worth it because this is my purpose in life. This is what I've sent here by God to write this book, to get this message out with the world. And when that's how you feel, nothing will stop you. Nothing will be able to stop you when you have clarity. If you don't have clarity, pretty much anything will stop you. Negative relatives, negative neighbors, your local writers group giving you criticism, you'll quit just like that because you're not clear and you're not on purpose, right? So get clear and get on purpose and write down a goal. What exactly is your goal, right? Do you just want to write one book? Do you want to write 10 books? Do you want to become a #1 bestseller on Amazon? Do you want to become a New York Times bestselling author? Do you want to sell millions of books? Do you want to have your books turned into movies? What exactly is your goal, right? Set your goal. Your goals may change over time. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the important thing about writing a goal down right now is that it gives you some focus and some direction. So that when you get up tomorrow morning, okay, I'm writing this book today because this is my goal, this is where I'm going, this is where I'm headed. And when you have that clarity and focus, it makes getting the work done a whole lot easier and a whole lot more fun and a whole lot more fulfilling as well. Okay, so that's foundation number 1. Get crystal clear on what you want and why you want it. Foundation number 2 is focus on your one best target audience. This is huge, and it's a mistake I see many new authors making. What they'll do is they'll write just a random book about whatever they're interested in right now, right? So they might write a science fiction novel first, and then they write a book on how to have great sex, and then they write a book on how to lose weight fast, and they write books on all these different markets and all these different genres. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with writing books for different markets and different genres. Being an artist, being creative is part of the process. Is we like to explore different areas of life, and we're very creative and inventive, and we have varied interests, and that's wonderful. It's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're looking to earn a full-time income from your writing, from your books, you have to really focus on one audience when you're first getting started to build up that audience, to build up that platform, right? Because otherwise what happens is you've got all these books in different markets, and you're marketing to all these different audiences, right? If you're wasting or spreading out your marketing efforts along 3 or 4 or 5 different audiences, what happens is you never reach that critical mass that drives you to being a #1 bestseller, that drives you to earning thousands of dollars a month in royalties, right? You never reach that critical mass because you're spreading yourself so thin. So you can write books on any topic you want, any genre you want. There's no problem with that, right? But if you really want to earn a full-time income from your books, if that's your goal, then what you want to do is focus on one best target audience. So if you write science fiction, just write science fiction. You can write other books on the side. You can publish other books. There's no problem with that. But when you're talking about marketing, when you're talking about building your business, you want your focus to be on your science fiction audience, right? You're building your email list for your science fiction audience. You're building your social media followings for your science fiction audience. You're building your platform. Everything you do is focused on that audience, right? Because when you focus on one audience, you build deeper relationships. And the deeper relationships you create, the better and bigger your success will be, right? Long-term success is all about long-term relationships. And if you're focused on so many different markets, you don't have the time, energy, and effort to really build deep, meaningful relationships with your audience, with your customers, with your fans. And so that's why, one of the reasons why it's just so key to focus on your one best target audience. Right, so what we're talking about here is basically brand building. We want to build your brand in your audience, target audience market, right? And it's very hard to build multiple brands at one time. So what you want to do is focus on that one market. And really the key thing here is that no one becomes successful in business long-term without repeat business, without repeat customers, right? And the easiest way to get repeat business and repeat customers is to continue creating new products, new services that help your existing market, right? So if you write a science fiction novel and then write the second book in the trilogy and the third book in the trilogy and then write a new series or a new book for that marketplace, what happens is you start building up this huge audience of customers over time because everyone who bought your first book, not everyone, but your fans who liked your first book will then buy your second one and your third one and your fourth one and so forth. And so that's how you build up your platform and your audience over time. But you kind of destroy that opportunity to build and grow when you write books in all these different markets and you don't focus on your one best target audience. So right now what I want you to do, grab paper, grab a notebook and pen, and write down what is your one best target audience. What audience are you going to focus on first and foremost to build your author platform, to build your brand, and to achieve your goal. Okay, the next step is to find out what they want. This is key, it's crucial, it's a mistake many authors make. Many entrepreneurs and small business owners just don't find out what their customers really want. And there are lots of ways to do it. Some of the easiest ways are just to go on forums. You can find forums in your market. So if you're a nonfiction author writing about gardening, you can check out the top 5 gardening forums online. Go check out all the posts that people are posting in those groups and look at the problems people are having. What are the problems they're having, right? Because as a nonfiction author, your job is basically just to help your customers solve problems, right? Give them information, help them solve problems, give them sound solutions to make their lives better or to solve particular problems that they're having, right? And you can take a very similar strategy for fiction authors, and you can go into forums for readers of, let's say, science fiction readers, right? So there's tons of forums online for different genres and different markets. So you can go into those forums and read about what readers like, what they don't like. Another huge way that you can do this and find out what your customers really, really want is go look on Amazon.com right now and search for the top 10 books that you think are most like the book that you're writing or the book that you've written. And then look at those books on Amazon and read the customer reviews. Read every single review for the top 10 books that are most like your book on Amazon. And what you want to do is take notes about, okay, number one, what are the biggest things customers love about this book, right? Is there particular scenes they love, particular ideas, particular strategies? What exactly do readers like and love about that book? Write those things down. Then what you're going to do is look for what do readers hate or not like, and look at what people don't like about those books. And when you have the list of what your audience loves and what they don't like, then you can create an even better book than what exists right now, right? Because you have this inside knowledge, right? And it's not really inside knowledge, it's publicly available to anyone, any author in the world. But I'm telling you, less than 1% of authors ever do this. And it's one of the most powerful strategies you can use to write better books, to connect deeper with your audience, and to build a huge author platform and author brand. Another great way to get feedback and find out what your customers want is from your own books, right? So once you publish your first book, you'll get feedback. You'll start getting emails from readers, you'll getting reviews on Amazon. And when you find things that people love about your books, make a note of that and consciously put more scenes or more ideas or more strategies like that in your next books, right? And when you find out things that people don't like about your books, sometimes it's just a fluke. I mean, sometimes people say, hey, I don't like your book because, it was written funny or whatever, right? And maybe that's your style, maybe that's your writing style, and you don't want to change that. That's fine. You don't have to change based on every little bit of customer feedback. But when you find something that you'd be willing to change, that you think would actually help you serve your customers better, serve your readers better, and you think many of your readers actually want that, that's something to consider adding or changing in your next books. Okay, so that's foundation number 3, find out what they want. Foundation number 4 is give them what they want again and again and again, right? This is how you create success in any business. You want to create long-term success. It's all about long-term relationships. And the way that you do that is by constantly adding value to your audience, right? And you can do this in the form of books. You can do this in the form of videos, just like this one, articles, interviews, movies, games, websites, blogs, all kinds of things that you can do to give your audience what they want again and again. But the key is you have to constantly be adding value. You have to constantly be upping your game. You have to constantly be making yourself better, improve as a writer, improve as a marketer, improve just as a person, right? And so what happens is, let's say you write one book, and let's say it's the best book in the world. It's an incredible book, and you sell, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of copies. Well, if you want more success, if you want to take your success to another level, what you have to do is keep adding more. Write another book, write a blog, create videos, do something to connect with your audience. The biggest mistake a lot of authors make is they write just one book and they quit. And they stop communicating with their audience, they stop adding more value to their audience. And that's how you don't create a successful business, right? If you want the guaranteed formula for failure, just create one thing for your audience and quit, right? It doesn't work that way. So, if you're certain experts, right, might write just one nonfiction book, right? I've got a client who wrote one nonfiction book on healing breast cancer naturally. And I'm not sure if she'll write more books, she might. But on that topic, she's pretty much exhausted that topic. It's a very thorough book. And, so she just has that one book, and it's selling very, very well, by the way. but she only has that one book, right? And you might think, well, she's not really giving them what they want again and again. She only has one book, but she is, because she's constantly speaking. She's doing interviews. She writes blog posts. She's really active on social media. She's connecting with her audience on a deeper and deeper level. Every single day, she's adding more and more value to her audience, right? And what's that doing? It's driving more and more sales for her books, more and more sales for her coaching and consulting, more and more speaking gigs she's getting paid for. So you can grow your business and increase your income with just one book. There's nothing wrong with just having one book, but you can't grow a business and build a business with just one piece of content, right? If you only have the one book and don't add more value and don't connect to your audience, you can't create the success that you're really looking for. So if you're a novelist or you're a fiction author, generally speaking, the best thing you can do is just write more books. You can write a blog, absolutely. You can do interviews, you can create videos. That's kind of stuff you can do as well. But the number one driver of a fiction author's sales is going to be how many books have you written and how well are you marketing and promoting your books, right? So if you want to grow your business and grow your sales as a fiction author, you got to keep writing, right? That's your job. You're a writer. As a nonfiction author, it really depends on what your goals are, what kind of writer you are. Again, if you're an expert in only one topic and you only want to write that one book in that one topic, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to grow and increase your sales steadily year after year after year, you have to continue adding value to your audience, continue writing helpful articles, interviews, videos, blog posts, podcasts, anything and everything you can to connect with your audience and grow your business. Okay, foundation number 5 is focus on adding value, not selling. So I've talked quite a bit now already about adding value, why that's so important, why you need more helpful content for your audience, right? But a big mistake a lot of people make is we try to sell, right? We try to, we go on Facebook, right? And we join every Facebook group in our market and we say, hey, buy my book right now, buy my book right now, buy my book right now. Leave me a review, leave me a review, leave me a review. And it gets so old so fast, right? Like no one even pays attention to stuff anymore. It's basically spam, right? And you might not be intending to spam people. You might actually have a super valuable book that can change people's lives and help people, but they don't see it that way if you're trying to sell them, right? They don't see it that way. So if you really want to drive sales for your book and you really want to help your customers, help your readers, and get your message and your story out there to a much larger audience, you have to add value, right? And the way that you do that is by being genuine, being authentic, and actually going out there and helping people. So let's just give an example of an author writing a gardening book. Well, what you would do is go, again, find the top gardening forums, go in those gardening forums, and instead of writing posts in those forums about, why you should buy my book and salesy stuff, forget the sales. What you want to do is write the most helpful, most educational, most valuable article you can possibly write and post it in that forum. And what's going to happen? You're going to get tons of comments, you're going to get tons of questions, you're going to get people acting and reacting and responding to what you're doing, and you're going to build up your audience, right? Because people are going to say, oh my gosh, I love what you're doing, I love what you're teaching. What about this problem? I have this problem too with my clients, can you help me with that problem? And the more and more you help people, the more they get to know you. And then once you've got a book out in your marketplace, and let's say in gardening, in that forum, you can go back to that forum and write a low-key post. It doesn't have to be promotional, it doesn't have to be spammy, it doesn't have to say, buy my book right now, review my book right now. You never need to say that. All you have to say is, hey guys, I've got a new book out on gardening, here's what it's about, just thought you guys like to know. It doesn't even have to, you don't even have to ask them to buy. Just let them know, I've got a new book out. If you want it, cool. If not, no problem. Because you don't have to be pushy, you don't have to be salesy, and the reason you don't have to do that is because you've already built up so much value with that audience, right? You've already become the most helpful person in that forum. And once people see you in that light of the expert, they see you as the person who's helpful, who goes out of your way to help people, they will automatically buy your book because they want to learn more, because they want to learn more from you, because they trust you, they like you, they know you. That's how you do marketing today, right? Marketing today is not about, right, there was marketing and the corporate marketing in the 1990s and early 2000s, it's all about advertising, right? We got to advertise, we're going to get in people's faces, we're going to tell them, you got to buy my product, you got to buy my product. That's not what works anymore, right? People are overwhelmed with marketing messages. So what you want to do is add value. You want to help people. You want to connect with your audience on a deeper emotional level. And they will automatically buy from you when they know you have books, if they like you, if they know you, if they trust you, and if they see you adding value to the community. You can do the same thing if you're a fiction author, by the way. Yeah, this doesn't only work for nonfiction authors. For novelists, you can join writers groups, writers forums, and you can share with people what you're doing on your marketing campaigns. You can share with them strategies you use to write a better book. You can share with them how you plotted your novels. You can share with them how you increase your writing speed. You can share all these valuable ideas with people, and they will automatically buy from you and support you because you've become so valuable. In fact, that's a way that a lot of novelists have actually built up their author platform. It's just by going and being really active in author communities and being helpful and giving to those communities. Joanna Penn is a great example of this. She's got, become a very successful novelist as well as a nonfiction author. And she's built up her platform largely through her blog and through forums and through giving back to the author community by teaching other authors what it takes to succeed. So you can do this as well for fiction authors. Another way you can add massive value for fiction authors, and really for any author, is just add more content, write more books, right? Pretty much everyone agrees that an author with 10 books is adding more value than an author with 1 book, assuming they're all, equally valuable, right? I'm talking about spam and stuff like that. But the more books you have, the more value you have for the world, right? The more value you have for your readers. And this is actually huge for readers, and if you readers of fiction books and nonfiction books, but fiction books especially. Think about it this way. Let's say you're a romance reader and you love romance books. You're in the top 1% of romance book readers, right? Well, you have a problem because your favorite authors only have so many books. So once you've read through all the favorite books of your favorite authors, what are you going to do? You have to find new authors with new books, right? And so let's say you find a new author, and that new author is you, and you have 1 romance novel, and the reader reads your book, they love the book, they would buy more if you had them, but you don't have any more, right? You're not adding enough value. You could add way more value to that reader. If you had 10 books and they loved your first book, they'll buy all 10 of your books right away, and it will add so much value to that person's life because they don't have to waste time looking around for more romance novelists and more romance novels. They've got all your books right there, and they've already know you, they like you, they trust you, they love your first book, they'll buy the rest of your books, no questions asked, right? That's how you add more value, right? If you want to earn more money, the way you do it is by adding more value, by becoming a more valuable person, by having more value in the marketplace, right? So whether you do that by writing more books, by videos, educational programs, forums, social media, it doesn't matter. The key is to add value, right? It's a universal principle. If you want to increase your income, all you gotta do is add more value. All right, now foundation number 6 is keep doing what works, right? And we got this little image here of the mouse saying never give up. And that's a great inspirational message. You should never give up. You shouldn't quit, right? Quitting is the #1 reason authors fail. It's the #1 reason everyone fails in every area of life. It's because they just give up before they've had time to become successful. But there are times when you do want to quit, right? Keep doing what works means you also have to stop doing what doesn't work at times, right? So if you find yourself on Twitter, for instance, and you hate Twitter, and you've spent a year trying to learn how to use Twitter, and you just can't stand it, and every morning you think, oh man, I just can't believe I have to get on Twitter again, then stop doing it, right? It's not working for you. If you don't enjoy it, and it's not getting you business results, it's not driving sales for you, just quit. It's okay. Not every strategy works for everyone. We all have different personalities, different strengths, and different weaknesses. So don't just do what everyone else is doing, right? A lot of authors find Twitter is really helpful for driving sales. Personally, I don't really like Twitter that much anymore. I used to use it quite a bit, and I got really burnt out. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy getting up every day, checking my phone for all the different Twitter messages. It's just not a lot of fun for me. I much more enjoy creating videos like this, writing articles, writing blog posts, writing books, speaking, doing interviews, having my podcast show. Those are things I really love and enjoy doing. And that's okay. You don't have to use every strategy that everyone else is using. What you want to do is keep doing what works, right? So if you find that, having a video blog is just helping you crush it and really connect with your audience, and your audience loves it and you love doing it and you're just jazzed up every day, you can't wait to go record a new video in your video blog. If that's how you feel, that's perfect. That's exactly how you want to feel. Keep doing that. Keep doing what works. And if you have to cut out Twitter and Facebook and a whole bunch of other things that you aren't jazzed up about, you aren't excited about, do it. Give up the stuff that you don't love to do, that isn't working, and focus on what does work for you. This is really the key to success. A lot of people think you have to do everything. You have to be on every social media platform. You have to do every form of marketing, and you don't. You should try every form of marketing as much as you can, But when you find things that don't work for you, or you're not skilled at, or you just don't want to spend the time to learn, as long as you have something else that is working, focus on what is working. Build on what is working, right? So if you got a blog and your blog is crushing it, it's helping you connect with your audience, focus on that blog, right? Don't give that up. What you don't want to do is have a really good blog and really connect with your audience that's really going well and take 3 months off and quit blogging. That's not good for business, right? So keep doing what works. If you have to cut back, if life gets busy, if things get hard, cut back on the stuff that's not working, the stuff you don't enjoy. But always focus on what is working and keep doing what works. All right, I hope this video has been super valuable for you. Hope you're gonna take this message to heart and really practice these 6 key foundations for marketing success. These are really lasting principles for success. These are principles that work today. They've worked 10 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, and they'll work 10 years, 100 years, and 1,000 years in the future because they are principles for success. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about some strategies that are working right now in 2015. The difference between principles and strategies is that principles always work. Principles are kind of the rules for how things work. And when you follow principles, proven principles for success, you will be successful. Strategies are different because strategies are more palpable. In other words, strategies that work today might not have worked last year or 5 years ago, and vice versa. Because strategies change over time as technologies evolve, as people change, as readers move, from buying billions of physical books a year to buying tens of billions of dollars in ebooks and digital audiobooks every year. That's a huge shift going on in the industry right now. And so that's caused strategies that used to work a couple of years ago are completely failing now. And just one quick example of this is book signings. A couple of years ago, if you wanted to launch and do a big book launch, you had to do book signings. Book signings were the way to go. Today, almost no one is doing book signings. And when it comes to self-published authors, I don't know a single self-published author that actually makes a profit doing book signings except in their very local market, right? So if you live in LA and you do a book signing at a local library or something like that, yeah, of course you can make a profit. But if you have to travel somewhere to do a book signing, it's just a complete waste of time, energy, and money. But you could do virtual book signings like an online webinar or share an online video like this where you actually educate your potential readers about you, about the work that you're doing, and let them know at the end where they can buy your book. Those kind of strategies are really, really powerful right now and working incredibly well for authors. But if you try to use yesterday's strategies to be successful today, you're going to find it really difficult, really challenging, really frustrating. So that's why I updated Ebook Publishing School for 2015. That's why everything you're going to learn in the next video about marketing strategy is totally updated for right now, what's working right now in 2015, because it's crucial to have up-to-date information about what strategies to use. But again, you have to balance the use of these really powerful strategies with understanding the foundations of marketing, because I want to teach you not to rely on me as like your guru or something like that. Instead, I want to teach you how to be self-reliant. In other words, I want to teach you to build a solid foundation for success, something that's going to last not just for a year or two, but for the next 10, 20, 50, 70, 100 years or more, right? One of the great things about being an author and owning the copyright to your work is that you own that copyright for 75 years, at least 75 years, right? I don't know any other businesses in the world where you're guaranteed income for the next 75 years. It's huge. And even if you're only earning $100 or $500 or $1,000 a month, it might not sound like a lot, but that kind of money, month after month after month, year after year after year, is the equivalent of having millions of dollars invested in bonds or in CDs at a bank, right? And obviously, $1,000 a month is not the limit for what you can do. It's not that you can do much, much more than that. But that's the kind of success I want to help you create, not just something flash in the pan success where, yeah, you got some great book sales for a day or a week or a month, but then it all fizzles out. I want to teach you the foundations for enduring, lasting success, all right? So that's why this video has been so important. It's honestly, I would say, the most important video at Ebook Publishing School, because when you understand this stuff, you can create your own strategies, you can do your own testing, you can do your own market research, and you can find what works for your specific audience using these lasting principles. Okay, with that said, let's go on to the next video. I'm going to teach you some amazing marketing strategies, specifically some awesome things you can do with email marketing and with some really cool book promotion sites where you can sell hundreds and even thousands of books in a single day. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Before you go, make sure you leave a comment under this video. Let me know if you found it helpful. Let me know what you loved about it. and let me know if there's anything I can do to help you, support you with your dreams. All right, I'll see you in the next video.